what the truth is objectively, and it's just a matter of if you actually will enact upon it now. Now I'm giving you an exact blueprint on how to do so with Nita. Mark Passio refers to this as the true great work, and he uses this quote from Thomas Jefferson, quote, "Educate and inform the whole mass of the people. That is the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty. So the only true way to attain freedom, essentially, to attain what is right, because it's of the positive expression, we need to educate and inform the whole mass of the people. So if they understand what natural law is, which is this innate intelligence of the world that is universally abiding, that right there is the key then to preserving our liberty, especially since it speaks of the nature of government, it speaks of the nature of the world. It comes from a direct source, something that has been as the foundation to many of the governments that, however, has failed in time. So we need to understand that. We need to understand that every individual through all of history made a difference, and you are making history as we speak. See, Mark Passio also describes it best on this slide. He says, persistent. We are the vehicles by which truth operates in the world. Therefore, it is our shared responsibility at this time to help to awaken others by continuously speaking the truth, even if we feel burdened by this task, and even if it makes all of those involved feel uncomfortable. Because again, the truth is the truth. And no matter how much it hurts other individuals, people need to understand the truth, because it will actually save many individuals. Okay, so you work to get that truth out no matter what, but don't do it through means of evil, because then again it's counterproductive. So you must use the truth through the forms of, using your human nature, speaking to others. We are the vehicles. It's a movement, right, that we have to move in. We have to move toward a direction to which, no matter which path we take, because we're toward the truth, that is our direction, we are moving in the right direction. We are on the right path, and we are moving because we're brave to move on. We're not lazy. We're not falling asleep like all these individuals, and we have something to actually stand up for within ourselves. We are actually human. We are using our human willpower to create the change that we want. Okay, this is an amazing ability for humankind, and it's really up to you if you are going to use it. You were born with it, and this will position you in the world, and this will help you in your own life. But you have to be willing to change your own life. You have to be willing to listen to your own life too, so you understand what I'm talking about, so you understand how to share this truth. Okay, this slide then says the true great work is also a quote here: one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The latter procedure, however, is disagreeable and therefore not popular. Okay, so by making the darkness conscious, it may not be popular, essentially, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Okay, that's why it's a destructive process of enlightenment, oftentimes, because it is hard sometimes for individuals to change themselves, to understand that they have to change instead of asking for change. This is a quote by Carl Jung. Then, on another Mark Passio slide, responsibility. Most people erroneously believe they can hand over their natural law right to defend themselves to another individual, group, or entity. Okay, they believe they can hand over, like as if it's some material good. Okay, and then he says, in making such a false claim, they have attempted to abdicate a responsibility which has always belonged to them, that which always belongs to them, and can never be given away. Exactly. So it makes no sense to hand over their natural law right to another individual when they have this ability within themselves. That this is something they've always belongs to them. Why would you give your right to defend yourself away to another individual? And we see how important it is to Gandhi, who literally shaped India forever, probably saved millions of lives as well, simply through his words, his actions, through the beliefs that he put upon his people. That is enough to do so much. You've seen how powerful the government and how manipulative it is simply by changing people's belief systems, because that's what is doing it. Statism is a mind control religion. That's what it is. Okay, so ability to respond is essentially this responsibility that we have here? Do we have the ability to respond? That is our responsibility. Okay, the one true divide. So we saw the one true work that needs to be done. Now the one true divide, it says here, there is only one true divide that separates humanity into two distinct types of individuals. The criterion for this divide is whether or not an individual believes in authority and therefore believes that there is legitimacy to slavery, being that we see they are two in the same, innately, by the laws of nature. Okay, I'm not twisting this in any way. We have proven to you through all these quotes, even, which he doesn't go into, even though his lectures are hours long. He goes right into the natural law, but these quotes are reassuring much of what he's been saying. It's reassuring all of this movement too, and keeping ourselves accountable and changing ourselves, and understand that we can do that. Even for me to speak about it at age 19, I am not afraid to do so, because I realize how powerful it is, and I've seen what it can do essentially within people's own lives, and I know what it can do, being that it is the objective truth, and that I learn from cause and effect, and I've made observations about cause and effect, and so we'll need different people to understand more of the causes and the effects as we transition to a society where people do not believe in authority as much because of its very nature, and they start believing in themselves, because that is the true point here, right? So two types of individuals societies being divided upon: one who believes in authority and one who doesn't. Okay, and that is the true divide, because we see how powerful it is once you just eliminate statism. That opens the door to everything else. Here's that picture I was talking about here with the one true divide. This is the perfect way to look at it. You have on the left a statist, and on the right an anarchist. On the right you have the anarchist saying, you have God here, I'm an anarchist, most of my followers are statists, just for a reference example, okay? Of course, your God may be in different forms, we understand. But understand the premises, understand nature, right? That's what we're here to do. You see on the left statism, the brilliant idea that we give a small group of people the right to kidnap, imprison, harass, steal from, and kill people so that we can be protected from people who kidnap, harass, steal, and kill people. So again, a very ironic situation, but that's exactly what they do through their forms of government. They are justifying certain violence and saying other violence is not okay in this scenario. It doesn't make any sense according to the natural law. It is basically illogical. There's even a whole alchemy to this as well, you can see through natural law, where you can see there's the input, there's the processing, there's the output, how from our minds we create this actions that we partake in, and that creates our reality. I mean, just look at how much is involved here just within this example of natural law, for example, through its mechanisms and how it's even connected to the elements you see here. Crazy stuff. But this is what we're looking at when we're really understanding the nature of our universe, right? It says natural law, individualization, realization, and actualization. And so, I mean, there's some really crazy stuff in here. It's really, really cool. And people want to talk about cancer. They want to talk about all this stuff, which clearly we already know there's ingredients in the food that we can say are clearly carcinogenic. We know that certain compounds are clearly carcinogenic, but yet we want to say we need to find a cure for cancer, when meanwhile we see all these things that already cause cancer, created by the industry themselves, and we see all these things that cure cancer, which is created by nature itself. So do we really need anything but knowledge to know how to cure ourselves then? See? Cancer is curable now. However, it is not cured with medicine or drugs, but with knowledge, right? Knowledge, essentially, at the key of everything. Because again, that helps determine your mindset to your actions. It's going to be the key toward curing all the diseases, including that of government. See, this photo represents that perfectly. You have here, it says, freedom is a state of mind. And you have a bird in a cage, even though the door is open. So even though the door is open, the bird is in the cage, and he doesn't realize that if he just goes out the door, there's this vast world that he can be in. So he still sees this world, but he sees it in this small space and thinks that's a state of freedom, because that's the mindset that he put on himself. But he doesn't realize that by just going through that door, which is perfectly available as an opportunity for each and every individual to do, is to just get rid of statism in their mind. That door is there for them, so they can do that, but they don't always accept it, again, because of ignorance, because of lack of acceptance, essentially the same thing. Lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, and so they don't want to go out that door. They don't want to change their mind. They don't want to change themselves. They want someone to change their reality for them. Meanwhile, they're still stuck in the same cage, but they probably just move the cage somewhere else, because that's what government is doing, is they're just moving this cage to different positions, saying, okay, well, are you free here? You're free here, and you're thinking, oh, well, yeah, I'm free here, I'm free there, as we have through many generations. But ultimately, you're free when you decide where you want to go, and you can only do that by ultimately going through that open door, taking that step to open your gateway to health, taking that step to free yourself from all that binds you and holds you in place and keeps your mind in a state of servitude. And you have this depiction too, where you see there's upper figures that you see as upper figures, and they tell someone lower than them, they tell someone lower than them, and it's all just consequence. They're telling you the consequences instead of you getting that through natural law. So you have to deal with them telling you to do something, and you feel obligated to do it, whether it's right or wrong, because they're telling you to do it. They're the one giving you the consequences. They're the ones giving you that feedback loop, which is why the sugar's telling you what to eat and why the alcohol is telling you to just drink more, and they have you on this addicted lack of freedom route. That's exactly what this system is they make fun of, they yell at the person under them, they yell at the person under them, and as long as they have that chain reaction in place, everybody's held accountable to the standard of promoting the system. Everything feeds the system ultimately, which you may see as this big guy here on the left of the side of the photo, and ultimately the person that gets beat up here is the ones at the bottom. You see the little teddy bear, the ones who are innocent, not doing anything. But that's the problem, is you have all these people telling you do this, do that, and you have this chain of effects, people just be acting often out of fear, because you see that it's like, okay, well, you're yelling at me, so I got to yell at them, and you're telling me I have to yell at them, so I have to yell at them. And then that's when it just keeps tumbling down, and the innocent are then attacked because of it. Okay, this is the perfect photo to describe this togetherness, this family, the importance of having family and having all such within your life. There is nothing wrong with promoting this. This is traditionalism. This is right. It doesn't have to be an ism. It's simply life. Choosing to live as you want to be. It's freedom to do as you wish and to live in harmony with one another through principle, through truth, through nature, not through systems that be. This system that we are building, that is called government, is a destructive one. We must understand that in its very nature it is so, and that when they don't want us reaching enlightenment, even though that's a destructive process itself, they don't want us realizing freedom. They don't want us realizing ourselves. They don't want us seeing the truth that actually it's less destructive than them, and it's actually working in alignment with nature, which gives us many, many benefits, from health to fertility to relationships to everything that we want to achieve in life is through understanding cause and effect and how different elements in our life affect us. This is health at best, folks. This is health. This is not even so much just just talking about life. This is all about health, but it's also all about law. It's all about government. It's all about everything of the everything, which is why nature is the answer to much of everything that you may perceive as such, because it really is symbolic for that we need everybody to promote this everything that exists, because it is here for a reason, and it serves us for the very reason of us understanding it, so we can move on to become better people together. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to subscribe, like, and do whatever you wish. It's up to you. You are free in this life, and if you want to know how to change the world truly, please, I encourage you to check out my website, Nita.one. It's here for all of us, actually. It's not my website. It is my website, but it isn't. It's here for us all. We're all messengers. We're all fellow human beings. Let's change the world truly, and we can do it with Nita.one. Nature's the answer.